Hi, good morning. Welcome to Encore Chat. This is Judi Bonilla, the aging expert and gerontologist. Today I have Chris Piper with Halo Brand Solutions, and we're going to be talking about the five senses that can really help you market your business. Again, Encore Chat is helping people with the tools and advice they need to as they push their second career or possibly their third or fourth. So with that, I'm going to introduce Chris Piper, and if you can tell us a little bit about your background, Chris.
Yeah, I'd be glad to. Thank you for having me. I live in Bend, Oregon, and I have been in the promotional products industry for about 22 years. And I'm now with a company, Halo Branded Solutions. Halo is the third largest merchandise agency in the country, provided branded solutions to clients all over the country and all over the globe. My background has been a distributor, actually selling products, to my current position as regional vice president, where I manage the Northwest. And our job is to really educate the businesses, the buyers within businesses, about the true benefits and value add that promotional products has, that they have truly a positive impact on brand image. And it's not that we want to cannibalize other advertising mediums. Promotional products is there to bring added value. So I've been doing it 22 years. This is all I know. I started in 1994 as an actual manufacturer of textiles, nylon and canvas bags, and we did it domestically when you could get anything you could ever want. And it's just grown and evolved, and it's been a tremendous industry. And we are evolving with the times. We know we have to. And this is just a great platform and opportunity. So thank you for allowing me to share the promotional products industry with you and those that are joining us.
Yeah, well, as we say, we'll be taking a few minutes, and I'd like to welcome Smoky Mountain Chaz. He's now following the conversation, and we'll be replaying this. So if you want to connect with Chris or I, you have our Twitter handles, and we're there to answer your questions. As we move forward, hi, I'll try not to be too distracting, but I will say hi to Kelly for joining us. You mentioned something, you're in the Northwest.
Yes.
So do you see, I'll say, regional differences on what people are looking for in promotional products?
It's yes and no. It's promotional products really can, we see a lot in the Northwest. I mean, we have a lot of seasons here. So we have a lot of companies that may have corporate company stores online that we work with, and it's really important that their brands relate to the seasons that come up. So for example, it could be winter, and I may want to, as I scoot over here, want to add a beanie to a company store because it's highly useful, it's effective, and you're going to wear a beanie, and we would like to make sure our employees have loyalty with the brand. So, we'll be just try and help find seasonal related products up in the Northwest. One area that people may or may not like, but it's a fact that it is here, is the marijuana industry.
Right. Yes.
We have, Oregon is now legal. We have a lot of dispensaries, and those dispensaries want to make sure that there's a positive image on their brand, that we provide them an endless array of options to help them build that brand, and that when someone purchases, their marijuana, that we can provide something that it's either maybe, a container, or it's a bag, or even it's a logoed shirt that's really got cool graphics on it. Right. So, we do a lot of different things. I mean, we get those calls, and we want to sit down and understand the business. And I think as we talked before, people will go online and buy a product. Right. We as promotional products consultants really want to sit down and understand the business. Where are you advertising currently? And then how can we create a plan with you behind that product so it's effective and it does motivate that recipient to take an action, and has that loyal customer become a brand ambassador of your business. They're using that product, they see value in it.
Wow. Well, I just heard 3 nuggets for entrepreneurs, and I want to make sure I heard them correctly. One of the first things that you talked about is that there probably, one, you dispelled a myth that you can, for most entrepreneurs, they can have a store of, I'll say, a foundation items to promote their products, and then add an additional layer for perhaps those seasonal items. So when they budget, they can plan for a year of having, I'll say, maybe items they rotate in and out. Maybe they might be color differences, but that they want to plan for perhaps a seasonal layer of maybe additional weather-oriented or event-oriented products. Did I catch that right?
Yeah, you caught that right. And I'm glad, entrepreneurs that, here in Bend, Oregon, it's a very entrepreneurial climate here, very culture focused, a lot of new businesses and companies starting up. Yeah. And they'll come to me and they'll say, you know what, I've only got 3 or 4 people in my business, but I need branded merchandise. Yeah. And it always seems like I have to be a huge company to have a branded product. Well, today you don't. You can get as, you can really scale, which is really nice. Yeah. And we can work with budgets. So don't be fearful of that.
Huge.
One thing, so, it's really important that people understand that we can scale to a business's growth. So as an entrepreneur starts out, we want to be sensitive to the investment and the budget, and make sure that the product we are providing is really going to be effective, and may be effective across a lot of different mediums, from trade shows to mailings to on-site recognition of a client, or a simple thank you gift, or a welcome aboard employee type product, apparel, bag, hat, pen, journal book, whatever it may be, just to feel welcome. And when you have that product and all of a sudden that entrepreneur gets the product in the mail, or we personally deliver it to them, oh my gosh, it's like Christmas. They open up that box and they see their brand on a product. Their business is like, we've taken off. We're huge.
It makes it real.
Yeah.
It makes it real. I think.
Yeah, you could be Coca-Cola, or you could be the ABC company that's pushing out a new drinkware product, Right. And it's just, it's amazing to see the differences, but the reaction is still the same. Large global blue chip company getting their shirts and their hats and their trade show items, and they're just jonesing about it, having a good time, to a 5-person employee business getting their same stuff that Fortune 500 company got.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. And as an entrepreneur myself, when I got my first branded pens, it felt like, wow, the dream is happening. And what most people don't realize, I'm a gerontologist, I have a practice. Your product speaks to entrepreneurs, whether they're a solopreneur or if they might be an attorney practicing at law. It could be a nonprofit. Again, there are so many iterations of entrepreneurs, and if you have a side gig, I think having promotional marketing material can take your brand. And I want to make that clear that so many of us have a side gig or are partners, that this gives your product legs in places you can't be.
No, it's really, really important. And to that point, Judi, I really want to stress here today too that in years past and today, we as an industry and promotional products association really have to begin educating more about who we are and what we provide. We are a vital advertising medium, and a lot of people will tend to like, oh my gosh, I've got a trade show coming up in 10 days, and they'll just buy stuff to buy stuff. And it's really imperative that we look at your overall marketing mix. So your print and electronic, social media, traditional advertising. Today, traditional advertising is just not working on its own. And you have to bring in another component. And when you hold a promotional product, you hold the brand. It's different than seeing a billboard or watching a commercial. It's repeat exposure every day. And the pass along value is increased tenfold. And that means that your brand is getting further and deeper into your market. And you just never know where it's going to end up. So that's what's great. And it's pennies on the dollar when you really look at that. So.
Yeah. And that leads me to that second point I wanted to make sure for those of you who are listening to the replay is that when you have new markets, you mentioned the marijuana industry that has grown. I don't even know, it took from 0 to 60 in a short period of time. So that is a new industry to reach out. And that's when they're reaching out and people are trying to reach them. Mm-hmm. So it's always being aware of what's happening in what other businesses might affect you and how you can use that promotional marketing information.
That's right.
Because again, that extends your reach. And most of us who use social media are looking to, we always say, amplify our reach, amplify our message, extend our reach.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's always, the point of, wow, I have social media. I want to begin to promote my social media. And if anyone has flown within, the last day or the last year, when you're on an Alaska Airlines or a Delta or any other airline, and they will hand you a napkin that's imprinted, okay? And on that napkin, they have this wordle. And it is an opportunity to engage the recipient of that napkin to really read more about Alaska Airlines. They have a captive audience. They see value in that branded product of just a simple napkin. And on my Facebook page, Piper Speaks Promo, you will see images of things that I take pictures of, just showing you where promotional products are. And as we talked about earlier too, it's people see them, but now take that second step and they'll see it and now they'll taste it. So we've got, the sense of taste.
Perfect. I was going to say that leads us on to the what's out there. Please show us. It looks like a great video or visual. Thank you.
Oh yeah. And I think that's a lot where people are really wanting to know, what are other businesses doing? And maybe there's something that I can learn, that I can begin to implement, or talk with, my promotional products consultant, my distributor promotional products. And so I would like to just share with you that when you look at taste, I have a downloadable PDF that talks about all the 5 senses and the benefits that it has. So edible promotional products are utilized by over 75% of the Fortune 100 companies because of their effectiveness in creating memories, experiences for the end user. Now, here's a test for anyone that's out there watching. Get your logo, send it to your distributor, have them work with you on promotional product chocolate. And we want to give this to you, and it's going to motivate you to take an action. We've got packaging that's going to give you all the areas that I can help you manage and build a brand. Or if I'm in real estate, how I can help you find a home. Or if I'm, running another company or anything like that, technology and what my services and product can do. Put a nice little blurb up here that might be a nice little promotion or incentive to drive people to your website, because we want them to motivate. We want you to get deep, your customer to get deep into your business and direct them to a personalized URL. And when you're there, it could be your simple presentation piece when you're pitching your business to a new client. And when you open it up, you have 3 individual pieces of chocolate that are Belgian chocolate. And on the chocolate is a logo. And you open up the chocolate. I mean, how good is this? I mean, we're all ready. Right? Who's getting hungry out there?
I was just going to say, I'm getting closer.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Can I say, here's a couple things that came to mind. This is a call to action. This is a call to action. And if whether you're a smart business, a founder, or a solopreneur, entrepreneur, one of the biggest things is that call to action, to subscribe, to download, to get that first step into building, we talk, whether it's funnel or where it's people into your practice, that is getting people to take that action to connect with you.
Right.
And this is, I have to say, it's a really sweet idea. Because I'm like that.
It's a sweet and tasty idea. And every time I bring chocolate in, how many times does everybody say thank you? Wouldn't you love to have that in a meeting? And you open it up and the senses are already exploding. Right. And you've got engagement right there. And it kind of breaks the ice and everybody's having a good time.
Yeah. That's amazing. And I have to say, I'm in the brain health space. And when I see that, okay, for my business, that might be dark chocolate on my brain health program. Because what do we do know is dark chocolate is full of flavonoids. And that's one of the, I'll say, the inflammation risk reduction features of that. And so that's exciting to see and inspirational, inspiring other ideas. And I think that's what people can take away from working with someone in your field.
I'm going to inspire you. I'm going to use that in my next meeting.
Please do.
That's ideal.
Please do. Okay. So earlier, before we started our chat, you had something else with the 5 senses that caught my eye, and I'm hoping it might be on your desk to share.
This?
Yes.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. So, there's always inexpensive product out there. And everybody's asking, well, what's new? Or I've got $1 to spend on several thousand items or 100 items. Well, we can scale to that. Well, in promoting Piper Speaks Promo, branding with the 5 senses, I was able to find a product that was really fun. I would like my audience to get engaged. I like my customers to get engaged. And what do you see here? A hand, 5 senses. And what do you do when you have something like this? You fidget, you touch. Like I said, when you hold a promotional product, you hold the brand. It's different than seeing a billboard or what have you. But you're sitting there and you're fidgeting. And as you're fidgeting, you're looking. And as I'm looking, I'm reading. And when I'm reading, I'm retaining. And people are going to hang on to this. It's simple, and it's a great little office tool just to sit, and fidget with. Yeah. And it carries around. So that's what we do. We want to make sure that we're finding product that's really relevant. People ask me, well, what's new, Chris? Well, I can tell you what's new, but it may not be the right product that you want to promote your brand. Yeah. So let's understand your business, your culture, the employees, and how you want to present yourself outside your office. So when you leave, people are going to be left with a product, and this is going to say, hey, wow, Chris was really fun. He was really entertaining in his presentation. He talked about the 5 senses. Yeah. It's all there on this product.
So
that's what's fun about it.
I have a follow-up question. Under the Piper Speaks Promo, that 5 senses tool, was that specifically for you, or are you using it to market your 5 senses philosophy?
Yes, I use it to market the 5 senses philosophy. Okay. I'm a certified advocate for the Promotional Products Association International, ppai.org. And the opportunity is to really share with business owners, civic groups, schools, colleges, universities about our industry as a creative marketing advertising medium. And the 5 senses is really a way to share with them how promotional products can fit into all kinds of different areas of the client's needs, and just not get pigeonholed in drinkware or what have you, but do the whole gamut. So yeah, the 5 senses is a mission of the association. It's been a mission of mine, and it's the only advertising medium that does touch all 5 senses.
Okay. And the reason I wanted to point that out, just because of your background and I'll say how heavily you're embedded in the industry, when that came across your radar, perfect solution for visually showing that 5 senses of your brand. And my thought is you can do that for others once you get to know their business, like you talked about, their culture, and identify. I'll say, most of us can't read everything, but you are exposed to so much, you can filter down on what might be the best fit. And you mentioned earlier, I can show you everything, but it may not be right for your particular product or message. So I think it's an invaluable service because we can't do the research business. That helps.
And
and that I think is key. Yeah.
It
All right. So where do we find your products? What are some of the best tips we mentioned earlier, there's a budget, and we need to acknowledge that. And I think most entrepreneurs do not accurately factor in a budget. Can you give us some tips on getting what we need to think about? And again, I extend that to, you mentioned it earlier, colleges, fraternal or social organizations, that in their budgets, they need to consider marketing, a budget, and the different subsets.
Every business should have a line item for branded merchandise, just as you do for traditional advertising.
All right.
It's important to bring in the promotional products consultant that you work with so that he or she can begin to understand how you're utilizing your brand on traditional marketing. What is the messaging? What's that creative slogan that we can then take and go out and take the knowledge we have, work with our manufacturers and suppliers, work with our colleagues and identify areas that have been really successful, case studies that then we can bring back to the client and go, look, here's 3 to 5 items that will meet your objectives. And here's a good, better, best option in terms of budget. Okay. So we can start here or we can start here. I just don't want to pigeonhole you in one item because this might be more effective and give you a stronger return on the incentive. We can really measure it. So that's important. 2, it's important, and everybody does this, e-commerce sites looking for branded mugs, branded drinkware, branded packs, or just promotional products. I just want to make an awareness out there that there are a lot of suppliers, manufacturers that will sell you product and they may not be compliant. And it's really important.
I'm going to stop you there. You froze. So I want to make sure everyone heard that second point clearly about.
So the second, compliance. So the Product Safety, Consumer Product Safety Initiative Act is one the Promotional Products Association takes very carefully, and we educate our clients about it. We don't want businesses just to order product online. We want them, and when they do that, to make sure that that product has been certified and documented, that it meets the compliance. There's no lead paint. It's safe for children. There's tracking in the product so that if there is a problem, we can track it back to the distributor, the manufacturer, and the supplier. It's very imperative that you do that. And having a promotional product consultant come in and sit down and work with you on that, you know you're going to have someone that understands that. You want to talk to them. Can you protect my brand?
Right.
Are your products compliant? And then they'll bring in case studies. They'll bring in creative ideas. They'll take in what you're doing on an ad agency, TV, radio, billboard, news, magazines. We'll tie it all together. So the product can launch the brand. The product can tie in as a brand's being launched in the other traditional marketing. The product can be something to tie it and wrap it all together after that advertising contract's done and over with. So there's a lot of different components to it. And third, as I mentioned before, we can definitely scale. The promotional products industry can definitely scale to anybody's budget and bring in the good, better, best option. So you're not limited. We will free up your time. We're creative individuals. We have passion for this industry, and we will put a positive impact on your brand and enhance customer loyalty.
Okay. Now, I do want to tease this out. Also, you mentioned earlier in our conversation, there's a professional organization. So, entrepreneur, we Google things, we look for a promotional product. We may or may not come across someone who has a certification. Are there things, you really touched on an important quality in that when you order things blindly on the internet, these are going into the hands of your customers. So if they have a bad experience, it's your name. And so you want to protect yourself and have, I'll say, an added layer of
insurance.
Insurance. It truly is insurance that this is a good quality product.
Your promotional products consultant does all that legwork for you.
Right.
Your employer doesn't want you spending the time. You'll maybe kick off the research, send the information to your promotional products consultant. Let them take a look at what you're getting, what your ideas are, kind of what you're thinking about. And then let them bring that in. But then a good promotional product consultant will bring in additional ideas to share with you to actually meet your objective better or tie it in with the traditional marketing that you're currently doing or beginning to do. We free up that time. We do that research, and it's very cost effective. Let the employers do their job. Let us do our job, and you'll have great success.
Wonderful. Now, I want to make sure everyone's clear who's watching the replay, since you can't ask questions. When we say, we want a promotional product, how do we find someone, a professional in the industry, someone who has that certification? What's the best thing that we can do to find someone like you in our area? What do you suggest?
Just simple URL. It is www.ppai.org, and you can actually research, punch in your zip code, city, and you'll be given a list of promotional product distributors, consultants in your area.
Great. Because like I say, again, I'm going to briefly recap. We learned about there's people who are certified to do this work. You also gave us a tip to look for somebody who's going to offer a good, better, best, I think.
Good, better, best option.
Okay, good. So you do have 3 options, and that, there's a few things in there that I wanted to recap. I guess
the compliance of the product, making sure that it meets, the compliant of the products. Ensure that your promotional products consultant is certified educated. So we have certified advertising specialists. We have masters of advertising specialties, and they all take classes. It's just like any other profession. We have to renew those certifications by taking educational classes so that we can be the best we can be for our customers.
Fantastic. Wow, that has been a quick half hour, Chris, and I learned so much, and I hope those of you who are watching the replay get as much out of this as I did. Again, you've been speaking to Chris Piper, and he's at Chris Piper with Piper Speaks Promo. I encourage you to visit his Facebook page, because I think you're going to find some things to inspire your promotional marketing message. So, Chris, any last words?
No, I just want to thank those that were able to join us, and those in the replay. If you have an opportunity and you just want to reach out, I'm always open to brainstorming. I love this industry. I want to make sure that your brand experience with promotional products is a great success and you get the return that you want.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much, Judi.
Oh, you're very welcome. And that wraps up another episode of Encore Chat. Again, we're the web chat for entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and those who are looking to build their business. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.